Tucker Davidson here with Virginia Tech wrestling coach Kevin Dresser. This is the second edition of Night Before Chalk Talk. Tonight we're breaking down each match against arch rival and 17th ranked Virginia, which is this Sunday, 12 o'clock at Castle Coliseum. Let's start at the 125 weight class, which could be the match of the night. For UVA, they have 7th ranked wrestler and returning ACC champ Matt Snyder going up against 8th ranked and two-time ACC champ Gerard Garnett, who holds a 2-0 advantage over Snyder.
Well, Tucker, glad to have you back, number one. Number two, depending on what poll you look at, Snyder's as high as ranked 4th in the nation, and I think Garnett's somewhere between 7th and 8th. So regardless of what poll you look at, you got two top 8 guys in the nation. Right now it just appears that Snyder's a higher ranked guy. He's had a great start to the season. He wrestled McDonough of Iowa in a real tough match. Probably part of the reason he's ranked so high. So, that's going to be a great match. Everybody needs to get there on time at 12 o'clock because that's going to be a great match at 125. Gerard's never lost to him, but at the same time, I'm telling you, Snyder is really, really one dangerous guy. So I can tell you, Gerard's really excited about this match. So.
At 133, Virginia has true freshman, 17th ranked George DiCamillo. DiCamillo was a 17th overall recruit last year. And for Virginia Tech, we have redshirt junior Eric Spute.
Well, it's unusual that on paper a true freshman, DiCamillo, is favored over a 4th-year junior. I think it's going to be a good match. DiCamillo is off to a hot start. He won the Hokie Open where Spute got 3rd. They actually never wrestled each other. You got a little bit of a veteran against a young guy. We'll see how the young guy does in kind of a pressure situation. There's a lot of people there. We'll see how he does. But Spute's feeling good, wrestling good, and I know Spute's expecting to win that match.
At 141, UVA has NCAA qualifier Joe Spisak. And then for Virginia Tech, we have 10th ranked wrestler Zach Nybert, who's coming off a big upset of number 3 Tyler Graff from Wisconsin.
Zach Nybert is really wrestling well right now. I mean, obviously on paper, I think we're favored at this weight. I know Zach's wants to put up some points. Don't know much about Spisak. He was at 133 last year. He's at 141. I'm sure that just the whole Virginia Tech thing will make him ready to go. But again, I know Nybert had a great week of practice and is excited to go.
At 149, we have our second of the 4th ranked 2 wrestlers ranked. For UVA, we have 6th ranked wrestler Derek Valente, who's All-American, redshirted last year. And then for Virginia Tech, we have 11th ranked wrestler Nick Bruschetta, who's coming off 2 big wins of ranked wrestlers last week.
Well, I think Nick Bruschetta is the hottest guy we've got right now. He beat 2 really good wrestlers last weekend against Ohio State and against Wisconsin. So, but Valente's the higher ranked guy. He's an All-American. He redshirted last year, but he was an All-American. He finished 8th in the nation the year before. So, Nick can continue to rise up in the rankings by getting this guy. But, Nick Bruschetta might be the hottest guy we've got right now.
At 157, we have 2 ranked wrestlers again. For UVA, they have redshirt senior and 19th ranked wrestler Jed Moore. And for you guys, you have 8th ranked wrestler Jesse Dong, who wrestled his first match since his injury and didn't give up a point and tech the guy from Wisconsin.
Jesse is showing 0 effects right now of his shoulder injury. I haven't seen anything in practice. Obviously, I didn't see anything last week. I think last weekend was good for him, Tucker, to get out there and get some of the butterflies. It had been almost a year since he's competed, 51 weeks since he's competed. So he's ready to go. I can tell you he's excited about 2 Ohio guys going at it here. I think they've wrestled a couple times, and Jesse's always won that match. But let me tell you, Jed Moore's a tough guy to score on. He's a tough competitor. So you got two top 20 ranked guys. Another reason to get out there.
And then at 165, we have 2 top 10 wrestlers. And for UVA, they have 9th ranked NCAA qualifier Nick Sulzer. And for Virginia Tech, we have number 4th ranked returning All-American Pete Yates, they've wrestled twice, and Pete's got the upper hand on both times.
They wrestled twice last year, Sulzer and Pete won both matches. Fairly close. Again, I'm just kind of going off what I've seen the last couple of weeks with Pete Yates, and one goal Pete's got this year is to not only win but to dominate. and I think 7-1 might be his closest match this year right now at this point. So see, that's what happens when you're on live TV. Your phone goes off. Yeah, that's you just got to roll with it, Tucker. You got to roll with it. But no, it'll be a good test for Sulzer, I think, to see if he can hang with Pete, because right now Pete is really motivated to score a lot of points. You know, it's one of his goals early in the year was not only to win but to dominate, and so far he's been very, very dominating. But again, you got a 4 versus an 8 or 9. You know, that's why you get up early and you come to Castle on Sunday morning.
And at 174, UVA has ACC champ and 9th ranked wrestler John Fossey. And for you guys, we have redshirt freshman Austin Gable. He's coming off a big match where he took the number 3 kid ranked wrestler to the overtime.
Well, Austin's, you know, I think in everybody's eyes right now, Austin's probably one of the most exciting young guys we've got in our lineup. You know, he almost beat the 3rd ranked guy, went to double, triple overtime last week against Ohio State, and you know, Austin needs to go beat a ranked guy, and so he's going to get a chance to beat a ranked guy here Sunday afternoon. So, you know, Fossey's tough. He's ranked 10th in the nation, so he's got his work cut out for 9th in the nation according to your sheet. So we'll see. Austin needs to go beat somebody big, and I know he's excited to do that.
And then at 184, UVA has a 16th ranked wrestler in the country, Stephen Dottie. And for you guys, we have Nick Federline. He's still getting used to moving down a weight class and the faster wrestlers.
Well, Nick made a couple mistakes last week and got beat by Ohio State. I really think he out-wrestled the guy all but one period, but that one period cost him 6 points. And giving up 6 points at this level is hard to overcome. So, you know, if Nick continues to do what he's doing in the wrestling room, Tucker, he's going to be fine. He's a hard-working guy. He trains really hard. And usually when you do that, good things happen. So that's a match we need. We need that match Sunday.
And then at 197, we have another big match of 2 unranked wrestlers. For UVA, they have Mike Solopek. And then for Virginia Tech, we have Derek Borley.
Well, these guys are both right on the cusp of being top 20 guys. They're, you know, I think if you look, there's rankings out there that go down as far as 25, and they're both included in the top 25 in their weight. And I really think Borley, as he gets in better shape, and he had a great week of practice. He had a terrible week of practice the week before. I didn't share that in last week's Chalk Talk, but he didn't have a good week of practice before the Ohio State-Wisconsin weekend. He had a great week of practice, and I'm a big believer in, you know, if you practice good, you generally compete good. And so he had a really good week of practice this week. And you know, one thing about Derek is he competes really well. So I'm excited to see how that match goes.
And then at heavyweight, UVA has redshirt sophomore Derek Papa. And for Virginia Tech, we have 6-year senior David Morani.
Well, we're going to say Derek Papa because I don't think either one of us can pronounce his last name. But there's about 7 syllables in that last name. But we're going to call him Derek Papa. Derek, so if you're watching, Dan, we're not... we just can't pronounce your name, dude, so we're not throwing you under the bus. But Morani is 0-2. He's got beat by 2 top 15th ranked wrestlers. He's probably the best 0-2 guy in the nation right now. But David likes wrestling at Castle. David likes wrestling in pressure situations. We hope it doesn't come down to David, but if it comes down to David, we feel real good about it. So, you know, it's another opportunity for David to compete at home. He only gets about 3 or 4 more of those, so I expect big things out of David. But again, we just hope it doesn't come down to that. If it does, hey, we got a good guy out there.
Well, Coach, you've been driving to get 5,000 fans in Castle, but what is the actual attendance record for a wrestling match in Castle?
2 years ago, we wrestled UVA in January and had 3,800 people, roughly 3,800 people. That's what our sports information counted. We want to get 5,000 just because 5,000 is a good round number, and it's actually, somebody kept track way back in the 80s at Clemson when they had wrestling, had 5,000 people. So we'd like to get 5,000. Noon's early. You know, I did a piece earlier yesterday that I called it Early Service Sunday. So we need everybody to go to church early, get out of church, make sure they're at Castle by noon, and come see the Hokies on Early Service Sunday.
Well, this is our 2nd edition of Virginia Tech Chalk Talk. Remember to come out to Castle Coliseum 12 o'clock on Sunday. Watch Virginia Tech beat UVA.